fam? It's your girl Alexandria B, and we're back for another weekly swing trade watch list. Last week was an amazing week in the market. All right, we saw the Nasdaq create new highs on Tuesday, and the S&P 500 and the Dow created new highs on Wednesday. CPI report came out, and thank you, inflation gods, for bringing that down a little bit. So we should expect for the Fed to start cutting interest rates here, probably towards the end of the year. This week on the economic calendar, we have a lot of Fed speakers yapping. Wednesday afternoon, we'll get the minutes from the previous FOMC meeting. Thursday, jobless claims, per usual, as well as new home sales. We need to pay attention to new home sales because if inflation is coming down, that one little thing that's just inching its way down is housing costs. All right, so you'll see it written as shelter, the prices of shelter, whether it's your mortgage or rent, whatever it is, right? It's still too high. It's gradually coming down, but come on down a little bit more, okay? So these new home sales, I'll absolutely be looking at this because if the numbers increase as they are expected to, this means that more people are buying homes, which means that home buying is it's inching towards becoming affordable again. On Friday, we also have durable good orders, which durable goods is anything that you can physically touch. So we're talking bedding, electronics, appliances, right? Again, if we've seen that those are increasing, that is a really good sign for inflation. My eyes are on those this week. So the retail sector and the industrial sector. Now this weekend earnings, we're just going to go straight to Wednesday after hours because I know that's what we're all going to be waiting for, as well as that's also when the FOMC minutes come out. I might mind my business on Monday and Tuesday. What about y'all? I don't know. So we already, Nvidia, Snow, and my personal favorite company on the market, ELF. If you do not sleep on ELF, all right? We also have a lot of retail stores reporting earnings this week. On Tuesday, we have Lowe's, Macy's. Wednesday, we're going to see Target, TJ Maxx, BJ's, Deckers. Listen, to my ladies who buy Uggs every season, I'm going to need you to go look up Deckers brands. Do they own and when you see that chart, my goodness. Now, if you're saying, well, this is a little bit too expensive for me, but you like the sporting good, you like that industry over there, check out Dick's. The ticker is DKS. Check them out, my babies. Before we head into our watch list, y'all already know that we need to get an overview of the entire market. So we're going to kick it off with looking at ES, which is the futures for the S&P 500. Last week, oh Lord, chef's kiss beautiful. As we already said, we did get a new high on Wednesday. Loved it, see it. Thursday, we got a little bit of a rejection starting to come in. So I would love to see price pull back towards the 5270 range, about the bottom of Wednesday's candle, which if I pull up my 9 moving average, it's about right in that range at the 5267, 5270. I'd like to see price pull back and hold here. And if it does lose that, at least to hold the 5220 around in here in this range, to then find some support back down here where the buyers are and move back up. Y'all see this cup and handle? Or, well, y'all see the cup. Now let's pull it back, give us this handle. It's the same thing on NQ. They're just looking near identical right now. NQ actually Friday did not close bullish as we saw ES did, so it's already started its pull back. And again, I would love to see it hold this 18,300 to 18,400 to hold this as support in here and blast off, y'all. Absolutely beautiful I think that there's some great things on the earnings calendar and the economic calendar that are really going to get the market moving this week. So let's go ahead and recap our tickers on the watch list from the previous weeks, which are just all still in play. I absolutely love it. Procter & Gamble has been doing its thing to the point now where Procter & Gamble PG is at a new high. It closed into a new high the last 2 weeks. And so at this point, what I'm having to do is to pull up what the price targets is for this. So not only am I using the 1-year price targets, I'm also using Fibonacci levels to give me an indication as to where is price going next, because there's nothing to the left for me to look at. Right now, you're going to have to rely on a little bit of fundamental information, being those price targets, using Fibonacci levels, which is technical analysis, and paying close attention to price action on the daily. When you see a high probable bearish candlestick pattern on the daily, something like a tweezer top pattern, an evening star, a 3 black soldiers, anything like that, a pullback is happening, okay? Be prepared for that. That when you're trading something that is new highs, when the market is pushing and continuing to create new highs, there's nothing to the left. You're gonna have to pull out some tools, all right? So here for Procter & Gamble, the average price is to hit $171.85. Right now it's currently at $167 with the max price estimated to be at 183. Now, if you don't know how to pull this tool up on TradingView, this is what I did here, where you see the notepad right here in the middle, and I'm on my desktop version. When you click this, you'd have to drag from the bottom because this will have your watch list. But when you drag it up from the bottom, it'll give you a fundamental overview of the ticker that you have currently selected. I scroll down to the bottom and then I click on the forecast. However, you could also Google it and it'd pop up much quicker if you didn't know how to find it this way. So on Procter & Gamble, child, I'm looking for a push up to the 171 range, and I would fully expect for it to meet resistance there because I'm not the only one who has the 171 in sight. So when sellers step into the market because profit taking is happening or they're exiting positions, however you want to look at it, price sells off. We did just cross new highs without a retracement, right? Back to this trend line. I'm still in my trade right now, and if you wanted to enter into this trade, wait to see what PG does at the 171 level. Now, if it does continue above it, all right. But ultimately, we would like to see it meet some resistance here and pull back a little bit, and you'd be able to catch an entry then. Now, I have to fully pay attention to my 9 MA here as well, which price is still about $6 above, $5 to $6 above my 9 MA. With the momentum to the upside though. Momentum just absolutely to the upside. And if we pulled up, yeah, the 20 MA is even obviously at the 158. So again, looking for price to push up towards the 171 and to see profit taking there. I myself will also take profit on my Procter & Gamble swing at that point too. Next up, we have JP Morgan, which also created new highs. We traded that sucker right into the new highs. Woo, if y'all caught that over the 195, just absolutely beautiful. So I used the same method. The 211 is considered to be JP Morgan's average price. The estimate for the average price with 230, about 231, I believe, to be the estimated high. We'll do the same thing. Go to the 1-year price forecast, 211.37. Right? So I got the same thing. I'm looking to scale out at the 211, fully expecting for people to take profit there. Again, we aren't the only ones who pulled this up to get an indication as to where the next level up for JP Morgan is. And it actually matches up beautifully with the Fibonacci extension. So I'm going to do it from the last low that we have here. Just drag it to the current new high that we're at, drag it back down and over so it's extended out. All right, now let's zoom in on here. Look at this, you guys. Look at this. All right, so with the average estimate being the 211, I'm firmly in belief that we're going to see some profit taking happening there, with that next level being the 220.66. which gives us another halfway point into the 230.95. And if it does keep pushing from there, we happen to see an upgrade. You could even see 246 on JP Morgan. Now, I'm not saying anytime soon that's a $40 move up, right? So make sure that you're buying time. But again, I would look for a price to pull back towards the 199.200 first for an entry. Now, Morgan Stanley actually fascinates me a little bit because I see an inverted head and shoulder here. Now, we already understand that patterns are only validated if it actually plays out. So the 100 level on Morgan Stanley is actually what the average price is supposed to be, or well, $99.67, which we closed above on Friday, with the max estimate being about 118. This is beautiful to me. This is absolutely beautiful to me. I'm looking for a strong move above this 100. So when I come to the hourly, let's come down to the hourly and check this out. To catch an entry, right? I would love to see it pull back towards this trend line. That's first off. Would love to see that. If I pull these averages up, you see it's toeing the line on the 20 with the 20 starting to curve down. I do believe that we will get this move back down towards the trend line and be able to catch that move back up over the 100. We come down to the 15 minute and you can see, right, the lower that you come down, the more you can, right, you can really start to see the trend shifting down here. And when we even go down to the 5 minute, right, just move your little booty back on down here and towards about 97.50, 98 towards the trend line, and I would be one happy girl to trade this from above this 101 into the 118. And Morgan Stanley is so affordable. I will actually pull that up for you right now and show you all the contract that I'm tracking. So I came to bar chart, and if you want to know the method on how I find my contracts, make sure that you click back a couple of videos, and I showed y'all how I find the best swing trade and leap contracts. So my target is 118, so I automatically came down and looked at towards the 115, 120, and y'all check this expiration out. This is for September 20th. Okay, you can buy out towards your target for $1. And I'm honestly going to say under $1 because we're expecting to see Morgan Stanley pull back just a little bit again towards the 97, 98. So I'm expecting for the premium will drop as price drops a little bit. So we should be able to catch this for under $1. You better not miss this. When I pull up the Fibonacci levels back here on Morgan Stanley, we see that the 786 is right in line with what we were already looking at around the 97.75. So between 97 and 98 for a pullback. Blast off back up over that 101. Back up over. Y'all know where y'all at. Morgan Stanley, we will catch this one together, my babies. Look. Oh my goodness. Especially if we catch this move here. Y'all, look. That is a 21% move. That's a 21% move in price. We shall all eat together. Amen? Y'all on Costco, I really only got one thing to say. Where was you at? Because this is where this person was at. Amen. And still in it and rocking it out. Now I'm fully expecting to see a pullback, and let's go talk about it. They have earnings, not this week, but the week after. I'm expecting to see the pullback happen this week. Costco is projected to hit $8.65 at a high. I do not think that they will miss earnings. Amazing company, income statement, balance sheet, their forward guidance. I mean, their PE ratio is just outstanding. This is a buy. Now, I wish that it would get upgraded to a strong buy because that would make me feel strongly amazing about this trade, but that's all right. So looking at something that when you're looking at something that has created a new high, the market is pushing. Again, that 9 or the 8 MA, whichever one you use, is your best friend on these higher time frames. I would love to see it pull back towards 781, which we were already watching from this sell-off here, right? And if we come down to the 1 hour, and we really looked at when price was in this range, right? This is where that gap was created there. It's where we kind of rounding bottomed here. It's rounding its way there again, right? I'd like to see it pull back towards there. Now let's also pull up our moving average ribbon, which has my 20, 50, 100, and 200. Holding that 20, and whenever it does lose the 20 on the hourly, it holds the 50, which again is here in the supply zone. So I'd like to see price pull back in between 781, 784. And to see a hold for me to continue to hold my trade, my runners that I have. And if you are looking for an entry, I'm just gonna say wait on earnings on that one. I know we're just doing a recap right now. Oracle, twin, where have you been? Nobody, no. Hey, Cole, we waited on this one. Now this one took 3 weeks. Playing in this same range, but here we go. All right, so it would be lovely to see Oracle pull back towards 120 a little bit if you did not catch this entry. I mean, just absolutely strong day on Friday, breaking this range here, and we're just about closing this gap. This gap will be closed depending how you look at it. I know some people use the falling window strategy, so we'll just say between 124.57 and 126.10 we're gonna have that gap closed. So I would absolutely be paying attention to that range too for a little trickiness. Probably see that that's where price will start to pull back at, and then just to continue to move up. Now if the momentum is there to the upside, I'm looking on the weekly now. I mean, it was really basically a Marubozu candle, basically, right? Got that strong bounce off the daily 20 MA, or off the weekly 20 MA here as well. So the high of this week is the close. The high of last week was 123.58. It closed at 123.50. So you could just really say above 124 into the 127.45. You should look to take profit there. And that's actually within the average true range, the daily range. On a day, it moves on average about $2.25. Okay, so maybe not in a day would it make it from 124 to the 127, but kind of close-ish in there, right? So I'd look for that. Victoria's Secret, I know y'all slept on me on it. I know y'all did. Listen. Victoria's Secret is about to do what it's about to do, okay? Catch this above 23. Trade this above 23. Trade this sucker when it above, I like to round up above 23 into that 27, because this move that it made on the weekly, y'all, that was a 13% move in price. It ain't. Catch that. Now I went on and put Starbucks back on this list because I didn't think it was gonna hold. I did not think this was gonna hold, but look how the volume is decreasing, and I'm on the weekly time frame. So these are the levels that I'm watching here. I'm looking to see if it's going to reject at this 80, 86, 81 level. The 9MA is towards 84, so maybe it'll even continue to move back up there for another week, right? And just get 3 volume bars decreasing as it's moving up on the weekly. Now I know it reclaimed this 9MA, and that was strong. It was volume rising. Starbucks sucks. It just stinks. And so as far as the recap and where you can re-enter and where you want to take profit on what we looked at so far, I do want to just go ahead and check out the rest of these. Are just kind of like CAVA. We got a tweezer top on the weekly. This is something that's a little bit too new for me to necessarily know what to do next. We traded it up for 3 weeks. It's beautiful. Home Depot did not do enough for me post earnings to do anything. Target, Micron, and Snow, not quite yet. So I did get some requests to check out Abercrombie and Fitch, Google, ARM, and SOFI. So we're gonna go ahead and check those 4 new tickers out now. Abercrombie and Fitch, which is ANF. Again, this is something that's at all-time high. I'm not Miss Cleo. I'm good, but I'm not Miss Cleo. We have 3 weeks where it made near the same high, and 141.58 is the projected average price, with 155 being the projected high. So That's a swing if you catch ANF above 140, 158 to trade it into 155. As far as the support level, there's a very obvious weekly support level here at the 109, 110, and the 9 MA is splitting the baby here at the 124. There's just not much. You can see how quickly we can mark that range off, and then we'll even just go ahead and set this up how y'all are used to seeing my levels. When I mark my range off, it's beautiful. If we come to the daily, I mean, just a strong move up. I think now it's to see, will it cross this all-time high where it's continued to reject? Will it get this move above what the projected average price is of the 140, 158? For a pullback, if for us to believe that this will continue to move back up, we'd want to see it hold about 133, 134. For Google, again, all-time high, right? This beautiful double bottom that it did here. Absolutely beautiful double bottom that it did there. Beautiful, because this was a low volume pullback there. Y'all gotta pay, it's the volume, my babies. Watch that volume, right? So this is a very strong move with the 9 here at the 162. I just don't think that Google will pull back towards 162. So let's go down to the, we're actually gonna go down to the 4 hour. And it broke this high here at the 174. So watch for a pullback for an entry right into the one, because Google is just going up. Like, as y'all can tell, my sentiment is not bearish on anything. Pullbacks, yes, but not a bearish sentiment. So I feel like I would watch from this high down to where the 9 MA is, and probably even just go down to these highs here. So watching this range from, we'll say 171 to about 174.50 for price to pull back, find some support, and continue its move back up. We have ARM. Closed below the 9 MA. Came back to meet the 9 MA on the weekly and rejected it. I don't think that ARM has a bullish move at the moment. However, it is holding the weekly 20 MA here at 107.75. Just a little bit holding it there, right? So that's about a $3 move down. I would watch to see what does ARM do at the 107, right? There's not a lot of these tickers with not a lot of info. We come on the daily, we have a bearish crossover, the 20 cross below the 50. Price did pull back up. Absolutely rejected the 50 with it still curving down. Yeah, just a pullback, and I think it might even lose the 107 into the 104. So I believe that when we were talking, if you joined the class Saturday, that I said ARM to 40, I meant 140. If you were there, if you know, you know. I'm not saying that this is making a move back up to 140 down. It was just if you know, you know. Okay. Them average prices. 118, 195. That seems extreme, right? So with the average price being about 118, which is what it rejected. So y'all see what I'm saying? See, look, it came to the average price. So let's actually look, what was the exact 1 year? It was 118.66. What was the high end of this candle? Was 118.50. The profit taking started. We're not the only ones looking at these levels and making a mental note, and you should write it in your journal, a physical note too. Maybe we should kind of take profit there. There's a target, right? And you got that reject down. So with the lowest price being 65, you know. So let's, even at the daily 20 MA near 104. So that 105, again, 105 to 107 range to look for it to pull back. Now, if it does lose this 104 to make it and I'll even say if it loses 102.50, just go ahead and look to trade this down towards 95. Back down here, and we could even, let's sharpen that up to 94, 95 range. And the last request that I received was SOFI, which, as far as the swing on SOFI, I mean, it's a beautiful resistance level, right? You have a strong resistance level there. We come to the daily. So I wait for price to get to the resistance level about 768. See where these averages are. Oh yeah, look, the 200 MA is there. So maybe even like about 794 and wait for a reject there. If it does cross above it, all right. Let's see what the forecast is. 853 average, $12 high. Now that would be a strong move on SOFI. Because this is a slow mover, slow groover, about 31 cents a day, about 89 cents a week on average is what it moves. Let's go do some contract hunting. So this time when I came to bar chart, when I typed in SOFI, instead of going to the put call ratios, I came to the unusual options activity. Then I came to the open interest tab and I clicked it once so that it did from the highest open interest to the lowest. Right up top with the highest open interest, we see the 15 strike, January 17, 2025, 22 cents. At this point, if it's something that you believe in and you want to swing it, when on average it moves about 89 cents a week, just buy time. It's $22. Go on and get in, buy your time. Stop the screen, pause, look at this. That's a no-brainer for SOFI. Get in, buy some time, peace of mind, all of that. So thank y'all for watching. Thank you for the support. Thank y'all for the comments saying my little Alexandria isms back. Purr, purr, purr. I really love it. I love y'all. Make sure that you click the link below and go